What's going on, guys? Aggronix here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Today I'm going to lead you guys through my draft for the Elite Season 1. Now, the Elite might not sound familiar. Of course, it's a new name, but it is actually basically the EPL Season 2, but we've just rebranded the league. If you don't remember the EPL, it was the league where we did really well in the main season. We went 10-2, and then unfortunately lost the semi-finals to DJ. So it was a great season, and then an unfortunate playoff. So definitely, I'm hoping to come back this season, come back strong, come back with definitely a different approach. The team is way different from last season, and that's exactly what we're going to talk about. Basically, my draft, the people we play, the Z-Mons I've chosen, and so on and so forth. So if you guys are excited for that, make sure to slap the like button down below first, and subscribe if you are not already to become a member of the Aggronix. That being said, the EPL was a great season, and I definitely wanted to come back for this. I was a little bit unsure if I was going to, because unfortunately exams start very, very soon, and I didn't want too many leagues, but I just said fuck it, who cares. I love this league, I love the people in it, and I don't want to, basically, because of a week of exams, not participate in 12 weeks of games. Like, it's just too much fun. So basically what I wanted to do was I wanted to draft a team that was much different from last season, because a lot of the things that I heard from last year is basically my team carried me, which I feel like was the case in a lot of cases. My team was really good, and not just from a biased opinion, from a holy shit look at this team opinion, because it was a really fucking good team. And a lot of times I won games just because my team was just very, very good. Well, we have Mega Scizor, Kyron Black, Tapu Koko, 3 mons that really you shouldn't get in the first 3 rounds, even though Hitmontop actually, Hitmontop I got 2 of them. But you like, those 3 shouldn't go, you know, to one person. Then we got Milotic, Gliscor, and Arcanine. Then we got Virizion, which I love. I got Uxie, Alolan Muck, and Clefairy. I think that was it. I'm trying to think, was there another one? I believe that was it. I'm sure I'm missing one. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, I'm missing one. What was the other one? It doesn't matter. It was a fantastic season, and I really enjoyed participating in that league, so I wanted to come back. And basically my plan actually went really, really well. We got basically every mon that I planned to get, besides 1, maybe 2. I think 2. So basically, I don't like going through like each mon in order. I'm just gonna throw you up the whole team, give you about 10 seconds to digest it, and then see what you think. So what we drafted was 3-minute mark. Nice. We picked up Landorus, Incarnate, Tapu Fini, Heatran, Jolteon, Dragalge, Mega Tyranitar, Staraptor, Hoopa, Chestnut, Steelix, Floatzel, and Altaria. Now, it's a very, very funny team, and I kind of like it because it's very, very different. It's unlike any team that I've ever drafted, ever really. It's just filled with hard hitters, fast mons, a few of them, some good walls, and some weird lower tier mons. So let's go through it. My plan for this draft was to draft Landorus Incarnate. Landorus Therian was like a maybe if Landorus went. Funnily enough, Landorus Incarnate literally went the turn before me. So I was like, alright, well that makes my choice a little bit easier. I just picked Landorus Incarnate. Now, very, very important. Landorus is Sand Force in this league, because Sheer Force is just too strong. Also, because Landorus was Sand Force, people agreed that it would be a Tier A, which is basically Tier 2. I'm just going to call it Tier 2 for the purpose of this video so people understand. It was a Tier 2, which in my mind is fucking insane, because this mon is still great. 125 base attack, 115 special attack, and 101 speed is still really, really nice. And some decent bulk. I mean, bulky Landorus, let's go. I don't know if I'll ever do that, but it's still, I think Landorus is a fantastic mon. And for a Tier 2, I felt it was too good to pass up, and I didn't want to risk getting on the way back, which I'm pretty sure I might have been able to. I don't know, actually. Nick was the only person after me, because I was 15th in the draft, and it was a snake order. So basically, a lot of things went that I was like... So basically, when I was playing my draft, I was like, alright, I won't get a lot of things. Like, I probably would have got Tapu Koko, but I just decided I didn't want to draft it because I wanted to try different things. But I knew that Landorus probably wouldn't go. because it was Sandforce, but I knew I wanted to make it work because of Mega Tyranitar coming up soon. But then I decided I wanted to get a Mon that works well with the Sand core, but also covers a lot of their weaknesses. Unlike Excadrill and Tyranitar, I hate that core so much in draft, because on the ladder, of course, it's so easy to just sweep teams with it, or at least in Gen 6. Now, now actually it's not as good either, but in the draft league, it's so easy to prep for that core and stop it, really, because if you run coverage for Excadrill, you're probably going to also hit Tyranitar. That's just how it is, and I really, really hated that, and I actually drafted that in a league that never went up on the channel, and it just didn't work for me. I felt too boxed in from the draft, and too predictable, and that's what happened. With Landorus, I think we're going to be not predictable, because I still think, it is easy enough to prep, but they only share one weakness, which is huge to me, and also, they actually help each other quite well. I mean, Landorus is immune to, it's immune to ground, which is nice, and then Tyranitar is weak to fighting, which Landorus resists, which is nice. I don't think Landorus is, Tyranitar doesn't help Landorus anyway, other than actually, I mean, Landorus can take on ice types, and Tyranitar can take on most of them, besides like Mamoswine and Keldeo. Keldeo's a water type. I'm gonna shut up. But speaking of Keldeo, Tapu Fini helps that core way too much because it takes on Mons like those fighting types, like the water types, and which is why I went with Tapu Fini instead of Suicune, instead of my E.L.I.T.E. I thought Tapu Fini was a perfect fit for that, and so was the next Mon, Heatran. Heatran was actually my A tier, or my tier 1. Because both Fini and Landorus were tier 2, which that core is so nice to me. I love that core. I love Heatran. I used it in the Season 3 of the Elysian League. You guys know I didn't like it then, but I do like it now. Because Heatran back then, I looked at it with a very, very tinted view. I was just like, oh, this Mon sucks. It's 4 times weak to ground. It's so easy to prep for. And it is. It is easy to prep for with the wrong team. I think this team is so much better fit for Heatran. Because if you look at my Mons, I have a 4 times weak to Ice and Landers, 4 times weak to flying in Chestnut, and a 4 times weak to fighting in Altaria. Also 4 times weakness to Dark, actually, Dark in Hoopa, and then Ice in Altaria. That's 6 4 times weaknesses, which means if my opponent wants to run, actually it's 7. If my opponent wants to run Hidden Power, they have to choose basically to either go Ice for Landers, Dark for Hoopa, Ground for Heatran, Fighting for Tyranitar. That to me is a pretty fucking tough decision. That's a pretty tough decision. It is 6 months. I'm fucking retarded. That's a really, really tough decision, and it's a decision that I'd rather not make, to be honest. But my opponents will be forced to, which is really, really nice. And that's why I think Chestnut will work. Also, it's actually I'll get that. It's just good because actually it's a lot like Fini in a way. It has Taunt. It's pretty hard, unlike Fini. It's decently fast. It's a 77 base speed, so it can outspeed most bulky Mons like Nidoqueen, which I don't think was drafted. Mega Scizor, for example. It's very, very good in that regard, and I like Heatran a lot. And also, its typing is really nice with Landorus. Obviously, they share the water weakness with Landorus and Tyranitar, which is a little bit worrying, but I think we'll get past it. We have 4 Mons weak to water and 5 resistances. I really don't think it's going to be too much of an issue for Heatran. Next we have Jolteon. Now I know Jolteon looks a little bit weird because actually we got 3 snaps. Jolteon was originally supposed to be Raikou, but because we got Raikou, we got Jolteon. It means Staraptor wasn't Crobat. We were able to bump that up, and we got Staraptor instead, so they kind of fit together. We got Jolteon because it was originally going to be Raikou. And Jolteon does the same thing that Raikou was going to do. It's just supposed to bump up our speed. I wanted better speed tiers because I was a little bit worried. You have Mons like Landorus that depend on the fast Mons to take out, the Mons like the Megas. Obviously, you could tell by Tyranitar, this is a free Mega draft, so you pick whatever Mega you want. There's no limitations because the game hasn't released them yet. Whatever Mega you want. So Jolteon can combat that a little bit. Because it's labeled outspeed Mons like Mega Altar. Actually, everything would anyway. What's a Mega that's like 110? Gallade, for example. They'd be able to take on Gallade somewhat. Another 110 Mega is Mega Houndoom, 115. Another Mega. I can't think of another one that's like 125. I'm sure there is one. Can't think of one. But Jolteon does help with the speed tiers a lot. It also outspeeds Mons like Weavile, outspeeds Salazzle It outspeeds it speeds out regular Aerodactyl. It outspeeds Talonflame. It's just a really nice mon, and I loved the electric type in it because obviously Landorus, Heatran, Tapu Fini, and Tyranitar all struggle with taking out bulky waters, your Suicunes, your Milotics, your Alomomolas, so what have you. So Jolteon fixes that immediately, and so does the next mon, Dragalge, who was definitely not a mon that I was planning on drafting, but once I decided to get Staraptor instead of Crobat, which actually, by the way, this was actually the draft order, this is the order where I picked my mons. Once I decided to get Staraptor instead of Crobat, I decided to get Dragalge, so I didn't have, you know, the conflicting poison types. I really like Dragalge. It actually picked, you know, a lot of kills up for a few people that I've seen it. I've seen Sorsen use it very, very well in the Elysian League. I mean, he didn't bring it that often, but the 5 games or so he did bring it in Season 3. It did a lot of work. And it's always a mon that I've highly regarded. It's just I've never actually used. So I was like, Kyurem went. I might as well try something a little bit different, so I went with Dragalge. And you'll notice that I have, you know, fast mon Jolteon, a few fast bulky mons in Heatran and Tapu Fini, a hard hitter in Tyranitar, a decently fast mon in Landorus. Now I basically just have a nuke in Dragalge, which is what I wanted, because I feel like Landorus also needs that. Because Landorus, it hits really, really hard, but it's not going to one-shot everything with the neutral stab. Well, Dragalge might, so that's why I really like Dragalge. And also, it partners up decently well with Landorus and Tyranitar. Obviously, they share the ground weakness, which is unfortunate, but it does resist fighting, and it's a decent fairy switch, and it doesn't resist fairy, but like, you can look at it this way: it's a poison type that doesn't resist fairy, but the way I'm choosing to look at it is that it's a dragon that isn't weak to fairy. So I'm looking at it, the glass half full, you're looking at it, the glass half empty, you little shit! So we have Tyranitar, I already talked about that. We move on to Staraptor. Staraptor was basically just an impulse pick, to be honest. I like Landorus a lot, but the fact that it doesn't have Brave Bird means that it basically isn't a flying type in a way. It's the typing is there, but offensively it doesn't really get to use it except if you use a Z-Fly. So Staraptor does help that a bit, and I did like it. With Staraptor, we have Stab, Brave Bird, which is really nice. We have Quick Attack, we have U-Turn, we have Close Combat, so it actually isn't stopped by most steel types except for like Skarmory and I don't know, what's another steel type that resists fighting? Shit. Scizor. Actually, just Brave Bird that. Fuck! I always have to give 2 examples. Just say Skarmory and fucking move on, dude, for fuck. Steelix. It doesn't get walled by Steelix for now. Because of close combat, and also, I mean, Reckless, Double Edge, and Brave Bird is really, really nice. Gets Pursuit. Fucking, that's cool. I mean, is there a psychic grass type? I'm on like Celebi. You can Pursuit Trap. I don't even know if Celebi was drafted. I don't fucking know. But Staraptor is still really, really good. I like it. The speed tier is okay. It's not a speed tier, but we needed it for, you know, really, because we have Landorus at 101. We didn't need a mon that was base 100s, but it's still nice to have it. It still outspeeds mons like Kyurem Black, Crocodile, you know, stuff like that, which is pretty nice. So it is still pretty decent, and the Quick Attack does help its speed tier a little bit, but really it's a little bit like Dragalge, where Jolteon is the fast mon, Landorus is more of the cleaner, Dragalge and the Staraptor are more of the nukes, which is actually, the next one's kind of really, Hoopa. Now Hoopa's a mon that I know a lot of you guys are probably thinking, dude, I know you like Hoopa, but really, dude. And I agree with you to a certain extent. Hoopa is not a fantastic mon, but I think in the right matchup it can be really, really fucking deadly. And there are a lot of times where I think Hoopa could be the 7th mon, where it just won't make the team. I could see that happening a lot, unfortunately, but I think there's a lot of weeks where Hoopa, when it comes, will do a lot of work. Because Hoopa, the 70 base speed really will fuck with opponents, because it's fast, it's just fast enough where I run a Choice Scarf, it will outspeed most things. But it's just slow enough to where if I run no speed with Trick Room, I will be slower than most things. So it's a very, very funny speed tier, along with the fact it can be physical or special. It has 150 goddamn special attack, which is fucking insane. Destiny Bomb, which is pretty cool. Drain Punch, Gunk Shot, Nasty Plot, Psyshock, Trick Room, of course, I already talked about that. Taunt. It's just really, really good. I love Hoopa to death. I used it in the CPL for the 2 weeks that I was in it, and then the playoff started. I used Hoopa for a few weeks, and I really, really enjoyed it. It basically 1v1 the Magneton, which was the highlight of my season. when I swapped in Hoopa on a analytic magneton, it ate a flash cannon, it ate another one, it was at about 48%, and then just focus blasted the shit out of the magneton, which was great. So I really like Hoopa, and it's a little bit of a nostalgia pick, to be honest. Whether I will use it well, I'm not sure, but to be honest, I do actually think it fits quite well with a lot of the mons. You notice we have a lot of fighting weaknesses. I know we have Finny and Heatran, and we don't, we're actually not Heatran, we actually just have Finny, but fighting types are still a little bit scary, especially if you're just weak to close combat spam, which at this point I'm a little bit, just a little bit. So I did want Hoopa to be there just in case, I have to bring that 1 week. So its typing is nice. Also, the 4 times weak to Dark, I really don't think that's a problem. Not a lot of mons that Hoopa will be facing will have access to knockoff. For example, I'm not going to take on an Hydreigon, even though it doesn't have knockoff. I'm not going to take on an Hydreigon, but even if it got knockoff, I wouldn't be taking it on anyway. It doesn't matter. There are a few mons, for example, like Conkeldurr, which I have to be afraid of because it does have access to knockoff. However, if I get it in safely in Psyshock before it kills me, I'll be fine. So, just a few things like that. But I think Hoopa will do very, very well this season. As will the next Pokemon, Chestnut, which finishes my Fire, Water, Grass core. I know what you're thinking, dude. You had Virizion on the board and you picked Chestnut. Now, I love Virizion. I really, really do. But like I said, this whole idea behind this draft, even though I did just name 3 mons that I've used previously, is using some new things. And Virizion is really, really good, but I feel like Chestnut will be better in this team, because Virizion was nice when I had an Arcanine, Gliscor, Uxie, and my E.L.I.T.E. That was my defensive core. I didn't need any other mon, and then Clefairy was there in case I needed it. I didn't need any other defensive mon, really. And then I was able to grab Virizion, and Virizion finished that Fire, Water, Grass core, and it was a really, really nice mon, and it picked up a lot of kills. Chestnut, I feel like, was necessary, because if I had Virizion instead of that, I'd have a really nice, speed here, which is nice, but I would have a little bit of a weakness to, more physical mons, because Tapu Fini, it resists fighting, it does all that good shit, but it's still not the tank, really, because it doesn't have any reliable recovery. I think Chestnut will be more of what Finny isn't in this team. Finny will be more of the support role, while Chestnut will actually be the hard wall that I need it to be. If you take a look at it, also I actually went on Showdown, literally just grabbed a Finny and a Ferrothorn, send out Finny, set up the terrain, let Finny die, go on a Ferrothorn, and I click Leech Seed just to check before I draft this thing. And Leech Seed does work in misty terrain, which is very, very important, because if it didn't, I probably wouldn't have drafted Chestnut. I probably would have drafted Virizion. But this thing is rated as access to Drain Punch, Gyro Ball for fairies if they swap in, Ironhead, Leech Seed, of course. It has Reflect to get like, it has Reflect though, it's pretty cool. It gets Spikes, which is really, really nice. So we have a Hazard Setter other than Heatran, Landorus, Tyranitar, and Steelix, which is not like, I have another form of it, which is really nice. And I have Synthesis if I need it, Taunt if I need it, Wood Hammer, which is nice, it'll do a lot of damage, and also has Synthesis. Now I know it does, doesn't really work too great with the sand. However, you have to keep in mind the Mega Tyranitar probably won't come every week. It probably won't even come most weeks. It'll probably come half of the weeks. And Chestnut, I feel like, will come a lot more than that. So I think Chestnut will be fine to run Synthesis a few weeks. But other than that, I just love Chestnut. I think it's a great mon, and I think it really, really fits the team. The ability is nice, bulletproof, just giving it a few more, resistances. It's able to take on Mega Venusaur, I guess, because of it, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I'm just really, really happy about Chestnut. We move on to Steelix next, which was originally supposed to be regular Aggron. As 1, a meme pick, 2, as a nostalgia pick, and 3, just a fucking tank, because right now we have 2 nukes in Dragalge and Staraptor. I wanted the 3rd in Aggron, basically to come in, head smash something. It did get taken a few picks before me, which is unfortunate. I really didn't think it would go, but it did. I'm still hoping that an Azumarill, I don't know how to pronounce his name, an Azumarill, will trade maybe, but I actually really like Steelix upon reviewing my team in general and what Steelix does bring to it, so I do like it. Gives me another Hazard Setter and a reliable one, which Aggron would not be, because it can just get one shot. Steelix can of course as well, but it's less likely that Steelix will get one shot. It has access to Stealth Rock, Fire, Thunder, and Ice Fang. There's Gyro Ball, Earthquake. It's just really, really cool mon. Access is sturdy, so I will be able to guarantee get the rocks. Aggron would as well, but I mean, Aggron will have to use the Sturdy is what I'm trying to say, and I probably want to run Rockhead most weeks, so I don't take head smash damage. Steelix, the thing with Steelix I like is it knows what it is. It's just a bulky mon. It can take on a mon that none of the other mons could take on in 1 week, and it's just nice. I'm really happy with it. But the final 2 picks are mons that I'm not completely sold on, simply because they're E-tiers and they're not really meant to be sold on. The first one is a Floatzel, which I've used in the Legion League, and I really do like it. Its speed tier is good. It has a good attack stat. It is a decent move pool. Waterfall, Crunch, Brick Break, Ice Punch. It's a decent move pool. It's enough at what it needs. And the other is Altaria, which it might be a little bit confusing, but I'll get into Altaria in a second. Floatzel, I'm more sold on because the speed tiers are really nice. Because 115 is just a nice base speed. It's just nice. And Altaria, I think, is the one that you guys are rolling your eyes at. But this is the reason I can't really put it any other way. I can't put it any other way. Sand loses to basically rain. And I don't know, actually I think I don't play Janon, who actually has rain. But I still wanted Altaria just in case somebody tried to use, Z Rain Dance, Z Sunny Day. If I brought Altaria that week, I would be okay. Other than that, it's just a bulky mon. It just fills the role I need. It's more of a cleric. It has access to Roost and Heal Bell, which is nice. And it can drop a Draco if it needs to, which is nice. 90 defense and a 105 special defense is really, really good. I mean, it's weak to rocks, which is a little bit unfortunate, but it actually can be one of those, mons where I just run it like Dragon Dance maybe 1 week, or Perish Song and force my opponent to swap out, or risk losing a mon. Ice Beam, Flamethrower, Draco Meteor. It's a decent mon. I'm happy enough with Altaria. Now, how often I bring Altaria is definitely up for debate, because I actually drafted Clefairy last season. I didn't bring it once, I don't think. And I actually regret picking up Lycanroc, because I picked up Clefairy because I wanted a secondary fairy type that I could bring. And I never even brought it. While Lycanroc was actually a mon that I maybe would have brought 1 week or 2 weeks maybe. I feel like Altaria and Floatzel might be the same. I have a little bit more faith in Floatzel because speed tier is good, and offensive water types are kind of underrated in the format. I feel, well, the good ones. And I feel like Floatzel is definitely a little bit lower tier than it should be maybe, but at the same time, this is the guy that's, not confident in Floatzel, so I get why it's low tier. It's not great. But, I mean, it has Aqua Jets, which is cool, so, I mean, there's that, But if I had to say there was any mon that I would not, say was an ideal pick, it would be those two. I can't remember what I was going to get first. I believe there was a mon that I was going to get. For the life of me, I cannot remember what it was. I think it was something like... I think I was going to get one of the Simmies, but then I realized... like Simisage is the only one that I would consider getting, and it's the same base speed as Lander, so there's no real point. It's just another grass type, and I don't really think that's really that useful, really. While Floatzel gives me an offensive water type, which I know what you're saying, it's the same, but it isn't at the same time. It has Water Veil, can't be burned, stuff like that, so... we'll see what happens. I'm not too worried about it right now because it's, before the season has started. If I want to make a trade or transaction, I'm more than free to. But I can tell you right now, the only mons that I consider dropping are Floatzel and Altaria. But to be honest, well, that's what I pick up, I could pick up Clefairy again, but I'm not really bothered with it. So, that's my team. And I'll tell you right now, my Z-mons are as follows. In this league, we have 3. You get 2 mons that can use the Z moves, the Z attacks, and you have 1 that can use the Z attacks and the status. The status being Z Taunt, Z Swords Dance, Z Sunny Day, Z Rain Dance, stuff like that. The other 2, the Z attacks, can only use Z Rock Slide, Z Stone Edge, Z Close Combat, stuff like that. They can only use attacks. So, my Z-mons that I've chosen Heatran. I've chosen Heatran as my Z Captain, my Z status, and I've chosen Landorus and Dragalge as my Z-mon attackers. So, the reason we got this is because I like Landorus a lot. you know, it's really, really good mon. I can run like Z Fly on it, which is nice. Just Z Earthquake, stuff like that. Heatran's great because it could have Z Sunny Day, which is cool. And I also could just run Z Eruption, which would be pretty funny. And the last one, Dragalge. Dragalge is the one that I'm regretting a little bit, and I've thought about it a lot. I was going to go with Finny, and then I went back to Dragalge. And in the end, I decided that Dragalge needed it more to do a lot of work. But now I'm actually thinking Finny needs it more, because Finny to use Z Haze would have to be the red mon. That means I wouldn't be able to use Z Sunny Day Heatran, which is why I'm justifying it. At the same time, I still could have used Z Nature's Madness with Finny, so there's a little bit of regret there. But to be honest, there's no other mon that I would. Z Staraptor isn't really ideal. Z Floatzel is useless. Z Steelix Altaria. I mean, Z Hoopa is kind of cool, but I don't even know what Z Trick Room does. Does it raise your accuracy maybe? I can't remember. There was something I read it anyway. And Z Jolteon is the same. It's just not really useful for it. So Dragalge I feel like was the only mon that I could really give it to and it would use if I needed to, which means I can go for Z Draco Meteor, use it, and then go for another Draco Meteor, and I wouldn't get the drops, which is pretty cool. So that's the team. And now I'll just move on to our schedule. We have about 5 minutes until we hit the 30-minute mark. I don't want to keep you guys too long, but I will just quickly show you the schedule and talk about how I feel about it. That's a black screen. Oopsie daisy. Scroll! Scroll, you bitch! We are in the, what is it, the Pallet Division? Yes, we are. There is the Pallet Division, Viridian. I almost said Virizion. Viridian Division. We have the Pewter Division, and we have the Cerulean Division. And my name pops up in the Cerulean Division once. So I don't play him, my top guy. I don't play Gino. I don't play Amp. And I don't play. Who do I not play? I don't play someone else. I don't play. I think it's Potato. I don't play. Oh no, I do. Who do I not play? I don't think I play. No, I do play Yam. I don't play Pavlov. That's the one. So I don't play 4 people. I don't play Pavlov. I can't fucking remember the trick. Go away. All right, go away. So our division is the Pallet Division. We're in the division with Dunga, a Naziraman, and a Swag. 3 very, very good battlers. I heard a lot of good things about Naz. I know Dunga and Swag are very, very good. We barely beat Swag last season, which was 1-0. And Dunga we never even played, and actually we were playing in week 1, which would be fucking crazy. I don't know how these things. I assumed that we're playing Dunga, and he's playing me. That those two would play, but apparently not. We're just fucking going all over the place. So, there might be like a schedule change because I don't know. Maybe it works like this. I'm not sure, but basically, our schedule is as you see. Week 1 we play Dunga, 2 Swag, 3 Unlucky, 4 Potato, 5 Nick, 6 Naz, 7 Craft, 8 Amp, 9 Saigai, 10 DJ, 11 Ambi, and 12 Flygon. So really, really cool schedule, right? The only people that I don't know much about is Yami and Flygon, and I guess in Naz. I know Amp is a good player, and everyone else I know from different leagues or last season of this league. So definitely looking forward to that. Yami and Flygon are the only really real people where I know very, very little about, and in Naz, who's in our division, so I don't know how much he'll play into whether we make playoffs or not, which I'm not really thinking about too much right now, but it's just something to note. But I'm definitely looking forward to the season. The people that I'm most looking forward to, I really can't say like the one, but definitely Dunga is one up there because we never played and we like basically finished top 2 last season. We just never played and we never faced off. Swag will be fun. Unlucky will be great because I whooped his ass last time and hopefully the same thing will happen. Potato will be fun as well because I know I just named the first 4 weeks. Potato will be funny because we never played in the PCL either, which would be cool. Nick is obviously great. Naz, I don't know about that. Craft, only because I don't know a lot about Naz, but I'm sure he's a good player because I saw his draft. His draft very, very good. You can kind of tell with some people, what they're doing. But yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that to see what he's about. Craft, if I lose to Craft, I'm just gonna fucking kill myself, to be honest, dude. I'm just gonna fucking put the knife in. I'm gonna put the knife in my gullet. Amph will be cool as well because I heard a lot about Amph, and we were shit talking earlier. People were saying, "Oh, Amph, he's so fucking good," and I was like, "Fucking bring him on, then. Bring him on. I'll play him. I'll play him 1v1. Go on, boy. Go on, boy. Go on, boy." I JK Amph. It'll be fun. It'll be a good time. Saigai. This bastard, right? Saigai is one of the most unlikable cunts I've ever met in my entire. No. I JK. It'd be good fun to play Zygai because I don't know if he played last season. DJ, of course, beat us in the semi-finals of the playoffs, so we have to whoop his ass. That is the week that we win. I will lose 11 games. Week 10, his ass is man, boy. And then Yami and Flygon, I know nothing about them. We'll have to see what happens with that, but I'm definitely curious to see what happens. I mean, by that time, we'll definitely be like knee deep in the competition, so we'll know whether they're doing well or not, or if they're good or not. I'm sure they are, because they're in the league and DJ's accepting them and stuff like that. But definitely looking forward to it. And I mean, just to give you a little bit of insight, me and Dunga are playing week 1. I'm actually recording this very late. It's Wednesday. I'm playing this very late, or recording this video, I should say. And I left a little bit late, but they actually have uploaded Pick'em crews for who they think is gonna win, and they all have me to lose to Dunga, which is gonna be pretty fucking satisfying when I whoop his ass. No, okay. No, but if I beat Dunga, it'll be pretty cool. Which I just want to do anyway. If I lose week 1, well, what can you do? But Dunga is in my division, so beating him would be pretty important, I feel. I mean, I could lose to a lot of people and then just beat Dunga, Swag, and Naz, and I could still make playoffs, so if you put it that way. So you see how I'm thinking about that. But yeah, that's the Elite. I'm looking forward to it. I think the team is great. I love the choices I made with the Mons, the Z captains. I mean, Drigalgi, I'm a little bit unsure about, but Deitra and Landorus, I'm fully behind, and the schedule is looking good as well. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys have enjoyed this, make sure to heavy slam the like button down below first, and subscribe if you are not already to become a member of the Aggronix. That being said, have yourselves a wonderful day, and come back on Saturday or Sunday, depending on when we get the battle done, to watch my battle against Dunga. With that being said, have yourselves a wonderful day, and have your sweet ass. Bye bye.